Boop, 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 boop.
Call. Two men. One named Rich. That's me.
This is Jermaine. Just got off the toilet.
He's a foul man. This is the X's and O's of life.
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but I feel like the third time I've heard that today, I'm kind of like now over it a little bit.
Oh yeah, you play it even when we ain't recording. You play it like on even with your guests and all of that.
Yeah, folks like it for whatever reason. They're dumb. I don't know. I don't get it.
So of course you're like, let's change what people like, okay?
Yeah. Because that's the staple of a good broadcast is know what your people like and say fuck them.
Fuck them.
Just fuck them. All right. So this is time 2 of the live stream thing, and I'm starting to get the bit of a gist of it because before, because I paid attention but not enough attention because whatever. In the little top corner, it will show the little eyeball of how many people are watching. Now, last time we didn't have a lot of people in here, and now we have a lot less because we have 0. It's fine.
I can't see this, right? Because I don't see anything.
No, because you're merely a pawn in my game. So it's fine. Know your fucking role. But no, last time I at least had one person in here the whole time, and I thought that maybe it was you because whatever, it's just you're technically viewing it even though you're on it. That is not the case. So we actually had some poor schmuck that dealt with us for I don't know however long that was last time, and that happened. But I don't know. But hi, friend. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I don't actually care. Don't answer that.
Yeah. When I ask people, it's like it's a rhetorical, like it's a question that I don't need an answer. And then don't you hate the people that stop you and like really tell you what's going on?
Oh, it's the worst.
Oh my God.
Well,
I'm sitting up here. I don't know how many times that happened at Sad Job. I'll be walking in the cafeteria. I'm just trying to heat up my food, get in, get out, and and I'm like, oh, so how's it been? And they're like, well, and they just start running off this story, and I'm looking at them like,
oh, my wife is fucking the mailman again. It's like again.
Again? So I'm like, I didn't really want to know how you were doing. It's a figure of expression, like this saying, hello, or somebody sneezes, you say bless you. Like you're not, somebody sneezes, and you're not, giving them 5 Hail Marys or nothing like that. It's just gesture. I don't know.
Here's what you do. Next time you're in that situation and they start saying it, be like, oh yeah, really? Yeah, I found out I'm HIV positive. And then just see how long they stick around.
Some people are so full of themselves that they won't even hear your comment. They would just keep going. They'll be like, oh, you do? Okay. But let me get back to my story. They don't even care if you almost died last night. They want to tell you their story. That's all that matters.
I dropped a can of pickles. It's like, okay, that's a good story. I don't know. Yeah. It's weird. But, all right. So, folks, I'll kind of tell you this. So, a little selfless, or nope. Shameless. There it is. Shameless. It's fucking late. I've talked a lot today. Shameless self-promotion. Had 2 really good guests earlier. So Cliff Yates, he is a comedian and a cop. Well, he was a comedian and a cop.
You said his name is Cliff Yates?
Cliff Yates. Dude, this guy was super cool.
Seems like that
Like-
name sounds familiar for some reason.
I mean, he may have arrested you. Who knows?
I mean,
but-
I got a lot of those stories.
Oh, well, that's interesting. We'll get into that one day. But you know, he was up in LA and he did the NYPD thing too, and like had some run-ins with NWA and shit. And I'm just like, fuck, okay. And it was
Oh,
just,
really?
yeah,
Dang.
yeah, like just a real down to earth. Not
He used to be a
not the-
cop?
yeah, like 35 fucking years, man. Like,
Oh,
OG,
yeah. He was those dudes that put him on the ground in the movie.
right? But like, just not the stories you would really expect to hear. So definitely, you know, you get that stereotypical thought of like, oh, it's a cop. We all know what we're going to be dealing with. No, man, cool people. And then I did an interview with John Draper, and he is like a music guru. He has been around the music scene forever and a day. And, you know, the stories he was coming out with were just like, oh shit, man. Now, it may not be up your musical alley. I get it. But just like living kind of like the rock star lifestyle. Dude, it was.
Oh,
it
rock
was-
star. Okay.
It because I mean, he used to do music. And then, you know, he does, you know, these wrestling podcasts now. And
Wrestling?
Yeah, he does that, and then he has a Spitball. It's called Spitball Media. It's basically, you know, movies and streaming, and, you know, just kind of like a generally entertainment media as well. Really, really good show. Really interesting. Like, not to be all weird and goofy, but dude has an amazing voice. His charisma is out of this world. Like, I'm really trying to get rid of you and put him in your place, but I just don't know how to tell you.
Understandable.
You know, it's fine.
He said,
Maybe I
I don't know how to tell you.
Maybe I just told you. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Get out of here. But oh yeah, man, it was great, and I am so ecstatic that he gave me the time to do it. So,
He
by
got
no
like
means-
a huge following, or
it's pretty good. Like, it's not like, you know,
outrageous or anything.
it's not outrageous, but it's one of these things where, you know, you look at his views and it's like, oh shit, dude, there's many eyes on you. And, you know, if we can help at all with our 5 people, that would be super great.
Yeah.
but-
I mean, I don't
you
care
know,
what
just-
they do or whether I respect it or not. I respect the views. So if they got the views, they doing something.
yeah, man. And honestly, like, I would, on your end, I mean, because you're a movie guy too. So, I mean, I think you would actually, you would take a liking to it. So, you know, I put the links in the description and all that shit. But yeah, do yourself a favor there. Also, I didn't tell you this. Maybe I did. I don't know. It's been a day. I cut off Spreaker. Like, I cut off the audio only. So we're strictly just doing YouTube. Because we have 4 times as many views on YouTube than we do on like the Spreaker and iHeart and shit like that.
So you were still uploading these to
Yeah.
Spreaker audio?
See, that
I didn't
shows you
even
how-
know that.
There you go. Fucking point for you.
And I'm a part of it. I didn't know that. I thought you stopped. I mean, I thought as soon as we came and switched over, I'm like,
No, I was still
I
doing
understand
that
that there was
for-
probably a small overlap or
Well-
gray area. I didn't know you just kept going.
Yeah, because
Oh.
I didn't want to ostracize anybody, right? Like, I think that's super important because, you know, as a ideally growing, that's probably presumptuous, but a growing podcast, like, I don't want to, you know, isolate anybody and take them off the books. But I also realize in order to upload it on the audio only, I have to, and it's not like a big deal, but I have to download it and then basically re-record it on the Spreaker app and then put it out that way. So it's
It's causing
Not-
you that much extra work. I mean, I know it ain't. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I just do it when I
it's
go to
not
bed.
like
I'm
you're breaking your back, but
Right.
still, it's an extra couple clicks that you don't need to do. So, yeah.
right, because I usually do it when I go to bed, right? So I'll download it off the StreamYard.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll download it off StreamYard, and then I'll then go to the Spreaker app, hit record, put the volume off, put the volume on mic, or put the mic on mute, and just let it go, and then wake up the next day.
But it
And
was like, you was almost like dubbing it to the site. Like, you know how
yeah,
you
like
used to
it
dub
was,
tapes and stuff like that. Yeah.
yes, that's a great comp. And it just, not a big deal, not a big, hassle, but it just felt unnecessary for the return on investment. So the sweat equity wasn't worth it anymore, and I'd rather just focus on the YouTube thing.
ROI was not worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were getting ridiculous amount of views in Spreaker because we had a good following, and it would be worth putting in the effort because you still got a lot of people sitting there, but
And
nobody
like
was
you
sitting
even
there.
said, you're a part of the fucking show, and you didn't even know I was doing it. So
I did not.
like,
when we went YouTube, I know you say, all the tickers down there that you put it on all those other platforms, but when I rewatch these shows, I just, go to YouTube, go to your channel,
yeah,
and pull them up and start watching. That's the way I watch it, and I don't I'm not an
how
Apple.
most people
I
do
don't
it, man.
have the Apple
Yeah,
app
there you
or
go,
nothing
too.
like that, and
Because
so,
YouTube's universal, right? It's not like
yeah, it's not regulated to just one type of platform or so you got here sub on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, YouTube,
Yeah, I gotta change that shit now.
Patreon. Yeah. See, I don't mess with none of those but the YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's generally what people do, because people do like to see kind of a face to the name, even if they're not looking at it. You can still have YouTube playing in the background. So
Yeah. I turn on YouTube when I'm doing dishes or something. I'm not looking at it, but I'm playing the music and the videos that go with it. I can glance over and look at the video, but
exactly,
I'm not playing it for the video. And most I remember when you told me when we got into this business that most people they listen to podcasts. They don't necessarily watch them. Right. That's why that's why we kind of slipped and maybe dropped the ball. I ain't gonna say slipped, but that's why we was really catering to the audio to begin with. Then we realized no, we got to put the video because it's just so much more impactful. It means more, with the video with it. But YouTube is audio and video. It doesn't have to be just one, platform.
Exactly. So it just seems like the most logical step. And now that we're doing the whole streaming thing, and look, not for nothing, I put this out here too before. I don't know if it was on the Twitter sphere or just over audio. Preferably, I would just like to stream on YouTube itself. Now, unfortunately,
yeah, remember you said you need 50 subscribers or something like that?
Yeah, we have 19 because nobody likes us. So, anyone that is listening, it is mucho apreciado. That's my Spanish. To just sub on the YouTube, man. I hate to be like that, what was it called? Oh shit! What was it called? What'd she call us? Oh, the evangelist. Right, the evangelist. Please, sir. But
reach down in your heart, reach down in your pocket,
right,
and make a contribution.
Listen, all I need to have is a suit and a slick back fucking hairdo, and
you said a slick back hairdo. Yep, they do have it. Always got the grease lightning joint.
Yes,
and it comes almost into like a mullet type, and they be running it.
Absolutely, and people just buy what you're selling. So, but it would just be helpful overall and just general, because from a, I guess not a correspondence, but a interaction standpoint, it is much easier and much prettier on YouTube, and it would be great to be able to do it that way. So what I'm saying is, fucking sub to us in the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
All right.
I seen you threw something on Twitter like right before we started, like, see you there or join us or something.
Oh yeah, I said be there or we'll find you, and we'll probably just ask you nicely to come.
And you just left it open. You can plug that in with do nothing.
Right. We may have violence. We may ask you nicely. I don't know. Depends how you answer the door. Depends on my mood. All right, so meat and potatoes here, folks. So this is the we did the whatever the fuck we did last week. I don't even remember. What the hell did we
Privacy.
talk about? Oh, privacy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
now,
the many turns it took.
Yeah, it did. That's what we do. Now, this week is the whole would you rather, and this kind of came to me. I don't know. It was just fucking sitting there and something happened. I don't know. Deal with it. So, I've given really no thought to this, mostly because I've been, pretty busy doing the pods today, which kind of works out perfectly because I do like to do the whole authentic off the cuff thing. But the would you rather is going to be a few different this or that's, I guess. And the whole premise is what natural disaster would you prefer to be in? Now, obviously, no one's like, you know what I really want to fucking do? Be in a flood? No. And so the whole point of it is like, okay, would you like to be, here or there? Why would you prefer that one over the other one? That's the kind of
the cons versus the cons. Like what?
Yeah. Like which, would you rather, die of cancer or die of AIDS? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like, well, I'm still dying. Which one would you prefer to go by?
What path would you want to go down? I mean, the outcome is death. Yeah, but
right.
What path do you want to take to death? Do you want to take a jet to it, or do you want to take a slow tricycle to death? Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So I felt like that would be an interesting little thing to kind of bounce off and see kind of where our heads are at. And then the draft, and I know we've done something similar, like I said off air, about, favorite food, whatever, yada, yada. But I thought we could kind of take that to the extreme a little bit. So you're kind of death row, dead man walking. You're getting your old school last meal. You get to choose what you want. So
for you religious folks, this would be your last supper.
Yeah. Dude, and that's what I thought about it too. I'm like, that may not.
Yeah, well. You might hinge it in. Like, you can mess that up, but don't. Yeah. Just don't expand on it.
Right. So, I don't really know how I wanted to approach it necessarily. I thought, do a 4-rounder deal, do an entree, a side, a drink, and a dessert, because this is the last thing you're putting in your face hole. So you can have your favorite food, but you can also have this is my last fucking food. I feel like that changes the game a little bit because, I really enjoy pizza. You know what I want to do before I die? Eat pizza. No, the fuck I don't.
No, I do not.
Right.
I mean, I love a pizza, but no.
Right. I feel like that changes it some. So, so before we get into that, do you got anything you want to yap about here before we start?
God damn, we got a disaster over here.
Let's talk about gravity. Let's talk about gravity for a while.
My setup just fell apart because I was trying to lift up this thing to make sure I get a better shot at just my head.
Nobody wants that.
I got my fancy Steelers sweatshirt on to hate on Kenny Pickett with during the season. He said,
how about we had thunderstorms and shit today, man? Did you see the last 2 days? I was like, what?
It's been the wind was crazy today. I'm like, man, the sign outside my house. Good old Mr. I thought I was getting a break. You see today, yesterday, he scheduled some more. But there's a sign outside my apartment with his name on it, and that sign fell down. That's how hard it was. Wind was blowing. And I'm looking at the sign like,
that's called karma.
Fucking great. Yeah, I'm glad that it got his name in it. People walking past, stepping all over it. You think I'm gonna pick it up and put it out the way? Hell no.
No.
I might push it into the road.
Right. Yeah, the wind was kind of kicking, but it's just wild. February thunderstorms because I don't know. That's
global
what I think.
Warming.
It was 60 degrees. I'm like, holy shit, man! What is happening?
Yeah. I mean, there's been some cold days this winter, but these
Not
winters
really,
nowadays,
man.
they don't compare at all to the winters we grew up with. I mean, they were
No.
like winter was fully from about mid-November all the way until maybe towards the end of March, and it was cold as hell the whole time. Now it's like you might get some winter towards the back end of December,
Yep.
all of January, maybe with a couple even sunny days, 50, 60 days sprinkled in. And then it's like right about this time, it's over. It's like, wow.
Dude, winter lasts as long as a high school relationship now. That's generally how it goes.
It seems like everything is like, it's like today's world, modern world, it seemed like even down to the weather, it's like, it's still the same, but it's a watered down version. It's a less concentrated version. Like even the winters aren't what they used to be, you know. And just like there was the same people that's out there running around, the same kids, and like they're not built like the way that we seen growing up. I mean,
No,
I even look at some of the athletes.
Like
yes, and they look like little kids. Like it'd be like I'll see like a girl or a guy that'd be like, yeah, I'm 17, and they look like they're 12, and it's like, what? And even the athletes. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some big mammoth athletes, but
yeah,
when I was playing football, I mean, some of those players that was in the contemporary grades I were in, 9 through 12, when they got on that football field, they looked like gladiators. They were
those
huge.
Motherfuckers were held back for 4 years. Stop playing.
I'm just saying, but if you go to
lineman was 16. Was that offensive lineman was 26.
if you go to a high school game now, everyone's small as hell. It's like this is the best that the school has to offer. Everyone looks, just miniaturized. It's like wow. It's like nothing is as potent as it used to be. I mean, like you could take that. Like I said, it's gotten to the winters. For those of you that smoke weed and go into drugs, it's like that too. It's not like it don't hit as hard as it used to, like it did back in the day. It just don't. It's like I said, even the winners have even picked up on it. Winners is like, you know what? We those same goofy motherfuckers that you see running around. We are not original at all. So I don't know. Yeah, winter, like you said, high school relationship, but yeah, it's about to be. I mean, just even this week and a little bit of last week, it was in the 60s. It's like I don't recall February's hitting the 60s, man. It does now.
Random question before we get into it here. So now that we have kind of made the decision to kind of do the live stream thing, right? I realized 10:30 on a Wednesday night is probably not the most ideal time slot for that. So I'm going to propose something to you. Would you like to suck my penis? No, I'm sorry. No, that's not the proposal. That's an order. What is your feelings on about like 7 o'clock on Saturdays?
7 o'clock on Saturdays. Just depends on what I'm doing. I mean, right now, there ain't nothing to do. No. I usually do my laundry around that time. Yeah. 7 o'clock on Saturday. It's kind of hard, man. Because it's like, I only got my 2 days off. That's why it's like, okay, Saturday I usually, go to the grocery store, get whatever I need, and then.
What about, would Sundays be better for you?
Yeah, at least fine.
We're not now until football.
Yeah,
then we have to pivot.
Yeah,
we'll have to pivot to Saturdays on, that. But well, wait, we do football instead. We'll figure that shit out when we have to come down to it.
When we go to that bridge, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so, Sundays at 7 is about fine for now. Until all hell breaks loose with the football season. But right now.
Okay.
Not doing anything.
Okay. Well, okay. So, is there any other time on Sunday? Like, what is a good time for you on Sundays?
No, 7 would be good because I don't want to be I like to have my libation. I don't want to be drinking too early. I don't want to be
Okay.
drinking at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, now you want to show restraint. Okay.
I've never been a drink in the daytime type of person, like real early. I just don't,
I gotcha.
unless I'm going to like a
Right.
football game or a tailgate atmosphere or somewhere where we're partying or something like that. Or,
Right.
I'll have a beer or something like when I come over and we
Right.
watch the football games or whatever. I mean, we're watching a game, but
Right.
just naturally, just picking up. I mean, I usually don't drink until, I'm not saying there's a time limit on it. It's just my pattern. It's not until like later on. I mean, in the daytime.
Okay.
I mean, I work my 12:30 to 9. By the time I get here, get settled, it's 10:30. Time to crack a beer, have a beer.
All right. So yeah, we'll pivot to Sundays. I don't know if you want to start that this Sunday or skip over a week and a half. I don't know. We'll kind of decide.
No, not if we're recording today. I'm not going to turn around and record again on Sunday.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, because Tiff brought up the good point of like, yeah, look, it's late. It's literally the middle of the week. People probably got 9 to 5s. Ain't no one sticking around.
Live streaming, yeah.
And
I mean, because you did hit the
yeah, like it's different if we were just doing the recording. I mean, because it still does get recorded and uploaded.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we're looking for interaction and things like that, we're probably.
Well, put it this way: we can do a couple live streams on Sundays. If we keep getting just flat out zeros, then why do we continue? We just record it. Unless you want to just keep going down the live stream until somebody jumps on.
I would probably go that route just because you are more accessible at that point. Because there are more people at home, right? More people are going to be alive and conscious at 7 on a Sunday with no football, opposed to 10:30 on probably a work night. So
yeah.
We'll fucking and we're both off, and if you got nothing going on and it fits into your schedule, then hey, that's fine by me. Okay, so I guess let's get into the would you rather deal. So
okay, let's outline
the
actual natural disasters. I mean, like there's disasters and then there's ones created by nature. So we're only talking about tornadoes, tsunamis, hurricanes. What other?
Floods, earthquakes.
Earthquake. Okay. Yeah, that's not common out here, so we don't really. But tornadoes aren't common out here either. Is that it? Earthquake,
tornadoes, tsunami. Oh, avalanche. Okay, there's one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What about? Well, it's not common, but volcano. I mean, eruption of a volcano. I mean, that's. Yeah.
I mean, it's not things that are going to be in Western fucking PA. It's a goddamn hypothetical situation.
Yeah, there ain't shit happening out here.
Right.
That's why people live so long. That's why people come here to retire, because there won't be shit happening. But
wow, is that a thing? Huh.
As far as I know, there's a lot. I mean, especially the middle of Pennsylvania is usually like a over 55 to 75 community that could move up here to retire, because life is simpler. It's not fast paced, and it's almost like a hospice that's lasting about 10, 15 years. Like you're almost in a nursing home, but you're not in a nursing home. A lot of people do. A lot of people that live in the middle of the state, they're probably from somewhere else, and they settled down and said that they're gonna live out their last years here in PA, because there ain't shit here. I mean, what goes on besides an occasional thunderstorm or some snow here and there, but nothing dramatic.
I mean, if you're up in like Somerset, then they get some,
like when you get closer to Lake Erie, because everything's coming off that lake. So
like Somerset, they kind of are the ones that get the tornado situations. It's kind of like
Somerset. Ain't that where the 9/11 plane crashed or whatever? Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, it's close to that. Yeah, it's like all just flat land. It's like PA, Oklahoma.
Yeah. Tornadoes need flat land, but yeah. So there's been a lot of tornadoes. I mean, that would be the most common area in PA.
Yeah, I think that kind of is like the tornado alley a little bit out there.
Okay.
But, I mean, that's about it. It's not like they're getting F5s and shit out there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's an area that not too much happened. I mean, the thing about, everybody loves and talks about Miami and how fun it is and it's expensive and you see the women and they're naked and people don't tell you that's, well, people don't highlight that it's Hurricane Alley like crazy. That's
Miami
the drawback.
Gets rebuilt every 2 years.
That's what I was to say. That's the drawback. I mean, you live in this lavish life and it's wonderful and everybody's there and everybody's fucking everybody. But if you got some property there, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to either revamp or reconstruct.
That's why everyone's fucking everybody, because you literally have to repopulate Florida every 3 years because everyone dies.
I just find it funny that how everybody, praises how great it is, but no one, after they get hit with these crazy, weird hurricane names and their communities gets destroyed, nobody seems to highlight that too often. Well, they're just telling you all the great things.
And I talked about this earlier with one of the guests. I forget which one it was, but it's basically the same idea as people that live in Oklahoma. It's like, well, I mean, it's kind of like a fireman complaining he got burned at work. It's like, well, no fucking shit. That's what happens in your line of work. Like, if you live in Oklahoma, tornadoes fucking happen. That's what happens because that's what Oklahoma does. So,
yeah, like you coming home from the fire station, like, guess what happened? I got burnt. It's like, okay, you do play with fires all day. That is your job. You had to expect to not, come out of that thing unscathed. I mean, really? Yeah. So, Oklahoma, yeah, and then parts of California. I guess that's the the earthquake.
Yep.
Earthquake sections, and so you're saying what natural disaster?
So I don't have a pen right here. You got a pen on you?
Not directly handy, but what are we writing down?
Well, I was going to write down these natural disasters. We can kind of do this together here and figure, almost like a setup, not like a tournament per se, but kind of look at what we have and see what's similar, what's not, yada, 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 and then kind of face them off. It's like I said, I didn't really prep for this like I normally would, but I thought that would be an interesting little caveat to kind of go with. So
you said natural disasters.
Yep.
All right. So we said
go tornado. Hurricane. Earthquake. Volcano. I mean, do you want to put flood in there?
Well, we both gonna probably pick flood. I mean, flood is the one that's easiest to deal with out of all of these.
Well, I just feel like flood and tsunami are generally the same fucking thing.
Yeah, but tsunami is like, flood could be just, below waist level. A tsunami is like over your head. Like, I mean.
Yeah, you know what? Floods are for pussies. Fuck them. Tsunami.
So we could put tsunami.
Yeah.
Good luck spelling that.
Yeah, it's like TSUNAMI
or something. Tsunami.
I don't know. Something Hawaiian. I don't fucking know.
All right. So we got tornado, hurricane, earthquake, volcano, tsunami.
Avalanche.
Oh. All right. Is that it?
mean, do we need any more?
No. I mean, we got 6. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. All right. So, I would say volcano and avalanche are probably similar to each other. So I'd maybe like make a little line between those two to match those up.
Okay.
I would say earthquake and tsunami, or no, shit. Wait. Yeah, earthquake and tsunami, because they're kind of both kind of ground based. Put those together, and then we'll do hurricane and tornado.
Right.
Oh shit! Look at that, fucking came together real nice.
All right. So the circumstances of would you rather? Do we have?
Oh, you asking
does
me?
A?
Fuck.
Yeah. I'm asking you. Like,
Okay. So
is there a certain age that we are? Because I mean,
yeah, it doesn't-
being a certain age does matter. If you're a kid in a certain situation, you can't do something, or if you're old in a certain situation, you're going to be limited with your options and how you navigate through it.
No, I mean, if you're old and you're a natural disaster, you should just assume that you're gonna fucking die. Sorry, this fucking is what it is.
Oh man.
You lived a long life. You're not meant for this world. Kids are fucking stupid, so they'll go play in it. So they probably deserve to perish as well. So we're
just talking about like a middle-aged type of person.
Just in well-adjusted, quote unquote normal,
Pretty healthy person.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a fatty, you're probably gonna get fucked up. So it's what it is. So I guess let's start with the wind. Let's go tornado versus hurricane.
Okay.
So, well aware both are super devastating.
Both can kill you.
Yep. For whatever reason, I feel like in a hurricane, you have more places to hide. I don't really know where that's coming from. It just feels like when I picture these two things, like a hurricane, you kind of get a good warning. Like you see,
Well, they give you there's an evacuation strategy, and they can predict them a little bit better than a tornado. Like very rarely do you hear a tornado warning before a tornado strikes. I mean, it's like if it does, it's like minutes or not even an hour. They only give you so much time. With hurricanes, they're the weather patterns
that shit coming.
They see the eye, and they see it coming, and you almost got a week or two of weeks notice. I mean, they're able to really gauge and predict those coming. So you could definitely, and you can evacuate. So a hurricane is definitely something that you can better prepare for.
Yeah.
To somehow navigate and get through it. Now, my thing with the tornado is, even though you don't have, the quick notice. I mean, you don't have the notice like a hurricane. The only pro behind the tornado to me is it only lasts so long. It's not like a hurricane could be days, and it could be weeks. I mean, it depends on how strong these hurricanes may be. They can last a longer time. So, just to compare a fight, if you're in a fight and you're in a fight with a guy that he hits you one time, he'll knock you down and knock you out.
Mm. But
if you somehow dodge all those punches, you're good to go. You didn't get hit. But if you're in a fight where the fight lasts 7-8 rounds, there's more time for damage to be done, and that you have to, pick up and clean up from. So it's like, okay, what would you rather have? A slow moving, something that you can see, but it moves slow, but it does more damage, or something that comes through in an instant? It can kill you if you don't catch it in time. It can get you, but comes and it goes and it's gone quick. I mean, it does a lot of damage, but a lot of times a tornado can only cover so much area. So not only is a tornado really quick, it only covers so much air, so much ground, whereas a hurricane can cover entire towns. And
here's my caveat: there can be multiple tornadoes at once.
True.
And then sometimes they just get together and have little mini tornadoes, and they start fucking each other, and there's a bigger tornado.
I'm just saying the chances of 2 or 3 tornadoes coming at once, I mean, it's pretty rare, but it can happen.
Yeah, go call Oklahoma and tell them that shit. They'll have some words to tell you. But
2 at the same time is kind of hard. But it does happen.
You should know about that, taking 2 at once.
Hit me with an underhand.
No, so here's my thing. I'm still choosing hurricane because you have the time to get out. Like, with a tornado, it's kind of like, it's like a pop-up bar, and all they sell is moonshine. And it'll get you drunk.
Yeah, there ain't no light. There ain't no, you know, I'm going to drink until I know my limit. You're getting smacked off this moonshine. That's all you got. Right, you're going to instantly be hammered.
They're not even, you don't even get to drink it. They just give you a syringe or like, put it in your veins, pussy. Let's go.
He said a pop-up bar full of moonshine.
We're fucking raging. Let's go. But like a hurricane, it's like you're drinking, you know, the $5 wine from Wines and Spirits, but you're sipping it. Like you're nursing that wine all day. And it's like, if I keep drinking this, and if I don't eat anything, I might get a giggle. Oh shit. I might get a giggle. Like a hurricane, you're aware. Like you have warnings and you have a chance to get rid of it. The people that die in hurricanes are usually people that are like, no man, I'm gonna
that refuse to take heed to the warnings. Like, I mean, because when I see hurricanes on TV and, you know, people going through them, it just looks like one big tropical storm. Like it looks like one big storm with a lot of wind, like out there today. And it's like, okay, I can escape from, you know, a lot of wind blowing and, you know, I might have to cover up and try to get inside somewhere where, you know, it's stable, but I can get through that. A tornado coming, you could be on the ground 1 minute, 30 feet in the air the next. It's like, it depends. Yeah. I mean, if you own property and
not gonna hit you because you're there, like that's what those people think in hurricanes. Like, oh, it's not gonna I'm gonna board up my windows. Fuck is wrong with you?
If you own property, and let's suppose this property, you know, has both tornadoes and hurricanes. You own property and you got to rebuild the property. So would you rather a tornado hit your property or would you rather a hurricane hit your property? Because there's probably going to be more damage behind a hurricane. I mean, it's way easier to plan for, but it just seems like it does more damage over the long haul than a quick run through of a tornado. Like a
tornado runs through your fucking house, it don't matter.
True.
I mean, and that's.
But I'm saying property. Like, let's suppose you own, I don't know, like a whole cul-de-sac of apartments or something like that. Okay. And that tornado only runs through and hits 2 buildings of it. Would you rather that or the hurricane to get there, take its time, but it damages all of them?
Well, here's the thing about the hurricane. The hurricane loses strength over land.
True.
So, you know, there's that part of it. So a tornado it just, I don't know if it gains power on land or if it just, you know.
No, a tornado is not good around hills and mountains. That's why we don't have, like, people in the Rocky Mountains in Colorado or whatever, they'll never have one because they're surrounded by mountains.
Right. Tornadoes
can't. And the reason why, you know, Pennsylvania doesn't have too many is because we got some more down mountains, the Appalachian Mountains, but they're mountains. They're still, I mean, you still can ride through Pittsburgh and see some pretty decent, some pretty tall hills.
Everything in this fucking city is a hill. Let's be honest.
And a tornado can't can't navigate. It can't form. That's why they form in those flat places like your Oklahomas, where there's nothing to stop them from forming. So
yeah. So I just feel like if you're further enough inland, then a hurricane, when it gets to you, may not do the damage that, in a decent enough proximity of a tornado, the damage would be. I just think that the tornado is so much worse because it's just like you that little bit of
it's
time.
way more deadly. Like you said, you just don't. You have no time to react to it.
You don't. Like they've gotten better, but it's also like, dude, sometimes this shit just pops up. Like you just see this funnel cloud come, and you're like, oh, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not to say a hurricane is super predictable and things like that, but I feel like a tornado is literally, I'm here to fuck shit up. And I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to go because I'm a big swirly thingy. And I don't know. I just, I don't know. That.
From my standpoint is, okay, if I'm actually in it, and I guess that is the premise of what we're talking about. Like if I'm actually in it and, someone tells me, hey, you got a storm coming, it could be either or, which one would you want to have? Yeah, I'm going to say hurricane because it gives me a better chance of survival. But if I was a property owner and I'm not in it and I just own property there and they're like, hey, there's a tornado or a hurricane coming and it may hit your property, which one would you want? I'd rather the tornado hit it than the hurricane because it's like I said, it's going to be a smaller area that it's going to hit.
Interesting.
And it's going to be, very quick.
Okay. All right. So let's go from wind to ground. So tsunami versus earthquake. Now, neither one of us have been through either one of these things. So all we know is
it's what we see on TV and movies.
Right. I don't know the warning time behind a tsunami. If it's similar-esque to a hurricane, how they can, they see,
tsunamis is primarily like, that's things
like
that happen in Asia.
Japan
like, like they don't even happen here in the States,
No.
So,
no. But my assumption, and this is because I didn't do my homework on it, because I don't know, you do that, then you start getting super scientific and you have this super analytical answer that takes all the fun out of it. And this isn't, if you want to watch that, watch the Discovery Channel. This isn't for you. But my assumption is they have some semblance of a warning. I don't know if these things are little, residuals off of a tropical storm. I believe that's somewhat true. If someone can vet that, that'd be great.
I'm going to be totally honest with you.
I don't even know.
I don't have no idea how tsunamis form. What are the perfect conditions to cause one? Or like tornadoes, I at least know it's like a warm front and a cold front, and they're battling and they're twisting around. And tsunamis, I have no idea how they form. It's almost like a tsunami is an earthquake in the ocean, pretty much.
I mean, you're not wrong, because it's just a giant, storm or a giant wave that. It's like a flood that was taking roids. Like that's really what it is. And
a flood that what?
That just took steroids. It just was juicy.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever been to the wave pool or settler's cabin or whatever, when you see them waves coming, I mean, those things are uncontrollable, man. I mean, you could, if you're out too deep, you could easily drown, because it's like, soon as you get hit with one, you try to get up and there's another one and it's pounding you, and
And that's
one time I've almost drowned. Really? One time I've almost drowned was in the wave pool, man. I'll never forget it. My sister saved my life. It was like, I think I was in like maybe 4th or 5th grade, and was at the wave pool.
Stop playing with me.
He said it was last week. we was in the wave pool, and like that same exact situation happened where I went too far.
Yep.
And the wave, they hit that little horn like, and you're like, oh shit, here come the waves. So I'm trying to hurry up and get back to the shallow, but I was too late, and the waves start coming, and I couldn't swim. I mean, I could swim to save my life, to get to one distance to another, but
Right.
the waves coming through my whole swim game completely off. I couldn't even get my arms to above the water. It was like, boom, I got hit, fell down, tried to get back up, got hit again. And then you start breathing in water. And I'll never forget, I just seen this brown, bathing suit, bikini my sister had, just pull me. I just seen this brown bathing suit come in the water and pull me out. And I'm coming out coughing and spitting up water and choking, and
Listen, I thought
I was almost a goner there.
I thought you were about to tell me Jesus was black. I was like, wait, what now?
No, I'm telling you, man. I mean, and that's just a duplicated small microcosm, a replica of what a tsunami would be. So I'm going to tell you flat out. I would definitely rather experience an earthquake than a tsunami, because first of all, I don't know too much about them. Second of all, water and damage, and sometimes there ain't no coming back from that one. Earthquake, at least, you got, precautionary measures. Earthquake, try to hide in the tub or get under something stable, and, it's just more common. People, earthquake. Like, very rarely are you going to be that person standing out in the middle of whatever ground that's breaking and you're going to fall through. It's usually just a couple shakes, and you try to get underneath something or get into a bathtub or something that to keep you protected, and it hits on whatever scale it is, and then it's over. And then the damage behind it is probably less too. I mean, tsunami, it's like you got the ocean coming at the shore.
Yeah.
And it's huge. That's definitely going to do a lot of damage.
I'm going to agree and go tsunami myself, but for devil's advocate reasons, yeah, earthquake stuff, I feel like the worry is the things around you. So if you're in like a metropolitan area, and if this earthquake's, strong enough, that could take down those big buildings, and then you have like falling fucking building.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
That just but you're right, like you're not gonna really fall through the earth unless, but it's, once again, it is kind of unpredictable. Like you can't plan that out per se,
But I'm just saying, I mean, as many tragedies as this country has seen, I don't recall any, how, we got the 9/11 and the disaster, and people in history remember. I don't recall a famous earthquake that everyone say was like the worst in the history of all earthquakes, and it did so much damage and it killed so many people.
I feel like those things are mostly
any
international. Like those things happening out in like India and shit. Maybe not India. I don't know.
Because I mean, when they report hurricanes and everything, they definitely tell you the tally of, the bodies is claimed. Yeah, they keep you updated on that. But earthquakes, I've never really heard any that were just so dramatic or so detrimental that they killed.
Someone's gonna comment in the YouTube and be like, the fucking earthquake in 1914, you fucking idiots. It's like,
I know. I'm pretty sure they're out there. I just don't know them, man. I mean, and I don't know no tsunami names or anything like that. I would have to, get my Asian contacts on here to try to figure that one out, because I don't know. I just know of them, heard of them, and know they exist.
Yeah.
But I don't know any famous ones. Like, with hurricanes, we got like 2 or 3 a year. They got funny names and shit.
I guess my idea, the idea of an earthquake doesn't really instill any fear in me. You know, it's just kind of like, that's fucking irritating. Okay. But
yeah, it doesn't I'm not gonna say it doesn't strike fear, but yeah, it doesn't
well, by
put
comparison, I guess is kind
it doesn't put quite the fear in me that tornado or even hurricane would. It just, I don't know, it doesn't ring like a
no.
now tsunami does. I mean, tsunami definitely. I just keep seeing that wave just coming.
Yeah.
And just picturing that scene is pretty horrifying. So yeah. But earthquake, I just think the ground shake a little bit. Earthquake, get down. Everybody get down, and they get themselves in a tub or under a table, and it rattles for a little bit, and then it's over. That's all I
just
think
hope
of.
some shit doesn't fall on you. Like that's really like, the biggest thing, because highly doubtful you're gonna sink into the earth there. Your biggest thing is like, dude, if this fucking toaster falls on me, I'm gonna be super pissed.
Yeah.
Like that's like a tsunami. You have this giant thing that can literally drown you, that can literally wash you away, and
it can drown you, and it can knock over things to come at you. You know, it's taking out buildings, it's taking out glass. I mean, if you're behind a building, and the tsunami has broken all the glass,
yeah,
you could survive the water. But if that water got glass in it, that glass can come and just chop your head off.
Good
damn,
God, it's nightmare fuel. All right, fucking next, you dismal sumbitch. Jesus. All right.
I'm just trying to give you a fucking Final Destination fucking visual of how the shit will go down.
That's some Mortal Kombat shit. All right. So let's go avalanche against volcano. I mean, this seems pretty easy. I mean, I'm taking an avalanche all day. I will definitely deal with.
So you mean, an avalanche of rocks or an avalanche of snow?
Motherfucker, that's called a rock slide, goofy.
No, I mean, when rocks fall down, I mean, and they're coming at
it's a rock slide.
I thought that was called an avalanche as well. So you mean trying to tell me an avalanche is only snow?
I'm pretty sure, man. Yeah, it's like snow and it's snow and ice, which essentially are just frozen rocks. So I guess we can kind of like lump that together.
So if a bunch of rocks start falling down the mountain, racing towards a certain town, that's not called an avalanche? I thought that was called an avalanche as well.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just considered a rock slide. I mean, I get the premise though. I understand it, but I think that's its own separate. I wouldn't really say that's necessarily a natural disaster. That's just like a gravity disaster. But
yeah,
I mean, let's.
Oh yeah, I mean, out of avalanche and volcano, yeah.
Now,
they both coming at you a certain force, and you can't stop it. I mean, you can get killed behind it, of course, but
an avalanche, I feel, is very akin to the tornado thing because it's the pop-up bar thing. It can just happen.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like you're not really affected by it unless you're like on the mountain itself.
On that hill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, there is no warning. You don't see nobody on the news like, yeah, and at about 5 o'clock today, we predicted that avalanche is going to come. Like, it's like something just happens, and it's like, and you hear the rumblings, and it's like, it's like there's no prediction of that.
I love how everyone in your situation screams the natural disaster. I love
it. I know I didn't say earthquake.
You just got the
tornado
old black lady on the porch just saying avalanche, motherfucker. All three of you are going to be real upset later on. It's like, okay. But a volcano, I feel a volcano is just like the worst thing because you got the whole. Yeah, obviously you should have generally a good amount of time to see that shit happening.
Yeah.
But like the residual effects, look that.
Yeah. And with volcanoes, that lava is so hot that it tears everything up in its path and creates its own new path. So it's like, okay, whatever was there before, it's pretty much just cold lava at this point. It's new rock. Like there is no saving it. It's over.
Now, I will say this: volcanoes, super fucking cool.
They're what?
They're super fucking cool.
Oh yeah, they are. I'd love to just see one. I mean, even tornadoes to me. I mean, when I see them, tornadoes, they stop me in my tracks. I mean, when I'm watching the Weather Channel and glance and I see they're like doing a special on tornadoes, I'm like, they almost look majestic. It's like, wow, that's wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just this volcano is like it's like the earth fucking coming. It's like, oh.
You know, I got to throw a Chappelle reference in there. You know, that was the funniest when he was like Godzilla. And he was hitting it. He put his dick in there. It was just like, he was like, oh, and he's like, I'll call you later. And it was like,
like there are famous volcanoes and shit like that. There isn't like a famous avalanche. It's like, okay.
No, yeah, but volcanoes, yeah, like, you know, there's Kilimanjaro and all the Meteors. Yeah, there's some volcanoes that definitely shaped the history of this world. You know, they're definitely well known. I mean, I don't recall an active one in probably my lifetime, but I've definitely heard of them.
I think Mount St. Helens, didn't it? Didn't that fucking pop when you were alive?
I don't think so. I think that's the one that's in America, right? St. Helens.
Yeah.
I don't think that popped. I don't recall it being active. They did. It was like just a, you know, quick hiccup, like little bit of smoke, but I don't think it erupted. I ain't that old. What you said? You said in your time like I was 90 years old and shit.
Remember that?
He said, don't you remember when they didn't have cars, motherfucker, back in your day?
The only light you had was the light of the volcano lava. That's how you cook the meat.
He said that shit like I was in the civil rights diners and shit, freedom fighting and shit. He was like, didn't it happen in your time?
Yeah. Or was that on the white side of town? Okay.
Yeah, I went to some bathrooms that said colored only and shit. Yeah. Golly.
Good times. I mean, no, I'm sorry. That's.
And last day of hypocritical month. Well, no, we got one more tomorrow. Or tomorrow, if I got us a leap year.
Yep. Yeah, I'm glad it's done.
Mm-hmm.
So now all the companies can go back to whatever other thing they want to try to.
I didn't see. I ain't gonna say a lot. I didn't see as much celebration about it this year as I did in previous years. Previous years, it'd be like everywhere you turn, it's like you motherfuckers don't care. But this year, as fast as February went past, man, I don't recall even seeing hardly anything. I think Valentine's Day got more spice and juice behind it than Black History Month.
Maybe they got the fucking memo and they're like, hey, maybe we should just be cool all year and not shine a weird spotlight and make everything, you know, here's your black movies and here's your black shows.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like every platform, like when you go to Disney, anywhere you load up any platform, they got a black section set to the side, and it's like, I mean, I'm black and I find that offensive. It's like, why?
And that's I'm glad you say that, because as a white guy and you outwardly say that, you almost come across as like, you know, like you hate that it's being
separated or something like that into its own entity. Well, it's like you get ridiculed for saying it, but I'll say it for you.
Thank you. Because it's just uncomfortable and it just feels weird. It's like you're trying too hard. It's like a comic that is up there doing his shtick and he knows he's not funny, but he just is trying so hard. And it's like, dude, just be natural. Like if you were just natural and did what you did to get you to the game in the first place, everything would be fine. Yeah. But when you do this extra, like here's your Black history, here's your African history, here's your it's like, dude, what are you doing? Stop it! Like, just
Yeah. Like you said, it's like a comic on stage, and they're trying to get the audience involved and trying to ask the questions, and then they're trying to get a joke out of that, and it's like, hey man, that's too much.
Just
Let
do
it,
what you
like
got.
you said, flow naturally, and it's can't.
Do what you do what you did that you got to the game with. It's like you don't act different when the scouts are there. You need to act just. The reason the scouts are there is because you did what you were doing. Now that they're there, don't change it. Just I don't know. It's fucking dumb. Anyway, all right. So that was a fun little would you rather. I think it kind of ended up being a little bit easier than I thought, but still interesting little perspectives and shows how little we know about fucking weather, which is always fun.
I think that's what I was about to say. I think it highlighted how little we know about the main ones. The main ones are the most common ones, or tornado and hurricane. We knew about those, but the other ones, we don't know too much about them.
Shit doesn't happen here. I mean,
yeah.
Tell the weather. Email your weather people. Tell them to fix that. I don't know. What do they do? All right. So the draft thing, we're gonna run through this thing because I don't think it should be too difficult.
Okay.
But, the death row.
I just found it interesting. Before we got on air, you said that they don't. You mean to tell me a motherfucker that is getting ready to get electrocuted or lethal injection or gas chamber, they don't get their last request anymore?
I forget who the guy's name was, and I feel bad. I feel bad because I brought it up without having like the historical plot on it. But yeah, this guy ordered like a fucking shit ton of stuff. Like it's just such an egregious.
But I thought he had gotten to the point where, definitely in today's world, I thought they did almost everything but let you fuck somebody. Like you can have almost anything you want on your way to that final walk.
No, because here's the ideology behind it. They're like, you do, like, basically it went back to saying this: you get what's on the menu for the prison that day. That's what you get, because you, based on whatever you're on death row for, usually going to be a murder charge. Let's be honest. You didn't allot the right for that person to have their last meal. Why should you be given that option? That's the stance they took. But also, here's the thing: people were doing things like, I need to have a carton of ice cream. I need to have 2 full-size pizzas, prime rib. Like, they're doing all this crazy shit.
I mean, if I'm going to tell you as the warden, okay, you can order your last meal, but we're not going to go excessive to something you can't finish. We're not going to waste a bunch of food. So you're not going to order 50 fucking pizzas and you're only going to eat 4 slices. Like, we're not going to waste money on that.
Well,
it has to be 8 in one sit down or something.
Well, what happened was the person did this. They ordered all of this stuff, and it got to them, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm not hungry. I'm not eating it."
Damn.
Right, and that's
it's almost like a quick little jab to the system just to do it.
That's what they. Then that's after that. That's when they're like, "Yeah, no more. You get what you get. Sorry, don't kill people."
One person ruined it, or a couple of people ruined it for anybody to come.
Is that any different than anything else in society? Like, usually,
no.
Usually
that happens at work. That happens in school. The whole group gets punished to try to teach a lesson to 1 or 2 people. Yeah,
right, because Billy the retard wanted to fucking poke in.
But I hate when the upper echelon don't know how to just signal out or just separate that 1 or 2 people instead of making the whole group punish. I mean, that happened. I don't know how many times I said job where, instead of just grabbing this 1 or 2 people and sitting them in the HR office and say, "Hey, this is your final written warning. We catch you doing this again, you're gone." No, they make a whole new rule for the entire floor to follow, as opposed to just addressing those 2 people. So everybody has to suffer and miss out on a privilege that we used to have. I don't know how many procedures got changed behind that, where we used to do it this way and everyone loved it and everyone was fine with it. And then all of a sudden just to make it more difficult, we taking this away. You can't do this because somebody misused it. Punish that person that misused it. Don't punish the entire group. I'm not a big favor of punishing everybody for a couple's mistakes.
No, me either. But I also understand they have to set a precedent because people will always find loopholes.
Oh, size of a Cheerio. If there's a loophole the size of a Cheerio that somebody can jump through, they are going to do it. I've seen that countless amount of times in management at previous job and current job.
Mm-hmm.
Any job.
Well, and that's why they have to do it, because they're like, well, we're not going to give you wiggle room to make us look stupid, so we're just going to plant our flag. I don't agree with it either, but I understand the business side of it.
Yeah. So they're not giving out the last request. But okay, if we were in a world where they did give out the last supper, the last dinner right before you're about to go get executed in some form or fashion, either through electricity, a syringe, gas. What was the other one? What is that? It? Oh, you're talking some old medieval shit.
You're goddamn right.
They don't do no firing squad shit no more.
Dude, I don't know.
You might as well go to biblical days when they got stoned and shit.
Hey.
He said, can you imagine standing there while everybody just take turns throwing big ass boulders at you until one crack your dome open? That's just crazy. Yeah. You got stoned to death.
That's just embarrassing too. It's like, what happened? Fucking got a bunch of rocks thrown at me. It's like, what? That's how you fucking went?
So yeah, lethal injection, electric chair, gas chamber. I think that's it. That's all the ones that are still still operational today, as far as I know.
Yeah,
I mean, there's certain states that don't even practice capital punishment. I will let you know. Y'all know out there, Pennsylvania still does it. It's one of the states that, Pennsylvania still believes in capital punishment. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
They haven't executed nobody in a long time, probably since the 70s, but they do still believe it.
We gotta change that. We gotta take somebody out.
He said we gotta take somebody out.
Yeah. All right, so I figured what we can do. We'll do main course. We'll do a side. We'll do a drink and do a dessert. So this is basically just gonna be based on. This is the last thing you're putting in your face hole before they put you in the ground. And you can take whatever stance you want to take. I just feel like because you're not thinking of what you're eating. You're like, I'm gonna die. Like, real quick.
Now is not the time to save calories. Now is not the time to try to shave up. Like, this is gonna mess with my beaties, or I mean, you can't. I was gonna say,
you're like, hold on. I gotta prick my finger, see what my blood sugar's at.
There ain't no, this is gonna make me feel bad, or it's gonna make me fat later, or it's gonna make me come down with a headache. This is it.
It's like, hey, do you have gluten-free options? Shut the fuck up. Oh shit.
Yeah. So I mean, you're selecting what you're selecting what you truly want to enjoy. And I'm surprised. I mean, I ain't gonna say I'm surprised, but I know what my entree is going to be, and it's like,
dude, I'm so annoyed what my entree is. I'm like, oh, you fucking idiot.
I mean, I value this entree that much that it will be on my plate as my last.
Dude, we're
meal.
In the same boat. Oh, it's going to be so stupidly simple. Go ahead, shoot your shot, man. I want to know.
Oh, you want to know entree?
Yeah.
It's a surf and turf, man. I'm a steak and lobster or steak and shrimp. One of those combinations, either steak and lobster or steak and shrimp together.
That's fancier, though. Like, I feel like that's much fancier than my bullshit.
What is yours? A fucking burrito?
Oh, shit.
This dude want a taco before he go.
Listen, I'll get fucking Chipotle before I go. Let's go. Look,
yeah, man. I mean, from best steak that I've had in my years on the earth,
Yep.
Roof Chris. So
Yeah.
if I get a Roof Chris steak
Yeah.
with a Roof Chris lobster or some shrimp, that's my entree. That's my death sentence meal.
Oh God, I'm like embarrassed. Oh, I'm such a fucking hillbilly.
He want a burger, huh? A
No.
good burger.
Look, it's not far off. It's fucking meatloaf.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whose meatloaf is that good? I mean, I've had good meatloaf, some good ones, but I can't really name you a famous place or somewhere that I had meatloaf that I was like, man, that shit is superb.
Dude,
you know, I
I'll
ran off Roof Chris. Like, who you talking about?
I don't know. Tiffany's is fine. I don't. Meatloaf.
Oh.
Dude, meatloaf is like, it's hard to fuck up a meatloaf. It is difficult to fuck. It is basically a loaf of meat.
Yes.
Like
meat with
not-
like breadcrumbs and some
Yeah.
seasonings and stuff like that.
oh shit. I would
Meatloaf is the first one. Oh man, yeah. No, I'm a surfing steak and lobster.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm right up there with at the fancy.
when you started talking, I'm sitting there thinking like, oh man, this band's about to go super simplistic and I'm not gonna feel like a dickhead. And like, nope, feel like a dickhead. Nice.
Yeah, man. I'm like meatloaf. I've had, like I said, my ex made some pretty decent meatloaf. I've had some meatloaf from I think Boston Market that was okay, but I don't really have too many.
No, I
meatloafs
need some
where-
homemade. I need homemade. I'm not going to a place where that shit's frozen.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's what I
meatloaf-
say. I don't know any restaurant where
No,
I'm like, man,
because
their
it's
meatloaf
frozen.
is slamming, huh?
Right, because it takes a while to make meatloaf. Like you're not sitting there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever.
Wow,
waiting
that's
for-
amazing. A lot of people, I'm not gonna say I know my son will eat anything, but sometimes a lot of people don't even like meatloaf. Like they despise it. Like I
Yeah,
think
those people need to get the
I
fuck
think
out
my
of my life.
daughter, like when my ex used to make, she'd be like, I don't want no meatloaf. Can you make me something else? Like a lot of people don't even like meatloaf at all. So I'm like, wow, that was just a crazy choice.
People are allowed to be wrong. It's fine.
No, I mean that's what you want. On your deathbed, you said, I'm giving me this good slice of
A
meat.
slice, bitch, please. I want the meatloaf.
He said, I will dissect that thing right there on the table. Okay.
Right, I'm just gonna smash my face into it and be like, motorboat the meatloaf.
You motorboating son of a bitch.
Goddamn sailor, you. Yes, sir. Uh huh.
Okay.
All right. What's your side? Now it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to go with the surf and turf. It's more so just like your side piece, I guess.
Yeah.
Just your subsidiary nibbles that you would prefer.
Yeah. Okay, so
Oh God, I'm still fucking simple. Son of a bitch. God damn
once
it.
I got my good, I got my good old. All right, I am gonna stick with just steak and lobster, and then my side. It's more food though. I mean, it's like I don't know if you go to Red Lobster, but their Red Lobster's shrimp scampi, supreme. So I guess that's still like a meal. So you saying side like mashed potatoes or
Yeah, that's more.
yeah,
of a-
like
yeah.
not really a big asparagus type of person.
I'm surprised you haven't picked what I think you're gonna pick.
No, not a big rice person.
I fucking love rice.
Hey,
Ugh.
rice is okay, but I mean, that's not my first preference as a side.
Mm.
Not mashed potatoes, but some of those like au gratin potatoes with the cheese.
Really?
Yeah, man. I mean,
Oh.
I can't think of.
I
mean,
thought
like
you
this.
were going. I thought you were gonna go greens.
Oh, like green. Yeah. Like from like Thanksgiving green. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was super low hanging fruit, man.
Greens are wonderful, especially if they're done right. Yeah, greens are.
This man picked some Betty Crocker shit, which I'm sitting here clowning
I'm just
you.
thinking I don't know. I'm just thinking of the meal itself. I'm thinking of the surf and turf, and then
no. So that's what I'm saying. Like disconnect.
I gotta completely separate them. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they can go together if you'd like them to, but I'm saying like just this. Yeah. You're not trying. I guess
you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you're right. I mean. You know, it's very racist of you. Say no.
Yeah. Well, you know.
But no, greens. I mean, some well done greens.
Because I've heard you speak on
shit
greens. I'm like, this motherfucker is passionate.
Yeah. Some well done greens. Yeah, that is something that can go on the plate to die for. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. You. Sorry, you had to point it out for me, but.
Hey, well, you know. So. To go on my basic world tour here. Oh, so annoying.
Come on, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, right, legit. I am vanilla ice cream with white bread in
it. He said with white bread instead of like chocolate chippy cookie dough, it's like pieces of bread in it.
It's right. It's just rolled up bread pieces with a dirty finger. Just rolled up dirty finger bread pieces. I'm going stuffing. Super
stuffing.
Basic.
Yeah.
Stuffing is so fire, man.
The stovetop.
Oh.
Okay. He said, "Oh."
It's kind of a religious experience. I'm gonna change my pants.
Yeah, it can't be like somebody's. I mean, some people got some good homemade stuffing, but stovetop. I mean, that's one company that they got the stuffing game on lock. I mean, they put out some decent stuffing, boy, really do.
Yeah, and funny enough, it can go with the meatloaf. So
absolutely. I thought you was going to say mashed potatoes because I'm thinking of meatloaf. It's like I'm thinking of the two together. I gotta stop.
I know it's hard. It's hard to. I get it.
Yeah.
But
because I mean, the first thing I think of when you said meatloaf, I was thinking mashed potatoes got to be right there on the side of.
Dude, we have potatoes like 3 times a week in this fucking house. So if I never see potatoes again, I'm fucking cool.
He said he feel like honestly, Mr. Potato Head in here.
Right. Like if I wasn't Irish before, I'm fucking surely now. All right. What's your drink here?
Even though I'm not a big alcohol drinker, like I don't drink beer with my food. I always separate them. I don't like drinking beer with my food, but
yeah,
if the last drink I'm walking out of here with, I would like to have a nice cold beer.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, I'm not gonna necessarily like if we separating it from the food, because
right.
I don't know. So a lot of people, they have alcohol with their dinner. Like if you see people on TV or even at restaurants, they're having wine and drinks and then they eat. Like I'm not like I don't mix. It's like
I think the wine thing is like a palate. That's its whole.
Some of those wines, like that's why they get those special wines. It's like 82 Chalato or 62. Like it brings out the taste in whatever you're eating. So sometimes I guess like for those of you that eat rabbit, from what I understand, a certain type of wine brings out the taste in that. And I'm not a big wine drinker, but I understand the concept. I mean, why people,
But you're not going to be like, let me get a meatloaf and a fucking vodka and cranberry. It's like, what? What's wrong with you?
Yeah. No. But a lot of men, I see that, they have a beer with their, with their dinners at restaurants that I go to. And I'm like, I'm not that type of person. I separate them. Either I drink.
Yeah.
Most of the time I drink, I have my drinks, and then when I'm done drinking, then I cook myself some food or heat myself up some food and eat and then go to bed, and that's my night. I don't do them together. It's just it's too weird of a taste. But we're talking about this is your last drink, your last supper, you're on your way out. Nothing like the taste of that first cold beer of the day. So I would take that first cold Budweiser beer.
Okay. I'm gonna go. It's oddly specific, but it is room temperature cream soda.
Oh, you don't like it cold?
I don't mind it cold, but the cream soda, and it's funny because we did the whole wine brings out the taste thing. When it's room temperature, that vanilla just pops. When it's cold, it just it almost gets masked, I guess, in a weird way.
Oh, really?
But, yeah,
I gotta try it then. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say I never had warm cream soda, but I don't think I was ever
warm,
eaten
but
any
just like room temperature. Where
room
it's
temperature.
Still,
I mean, that's warm to me. I ain't talking about like hot, like a coffee. I'm talking about just room temperature. Just
it's like
not
you took
chilled.
it out. Yeah, like you took it out of the fridge and you left it out of the fridge for about a half hour. That's kind of where it's like it still has a little bit of chill to it, but it's still like, yeah, it something about it. It's just, I don't know. It's just it works.
You got me wanting the cream soda now. Like, I'm gonna try it.
Do it.
At room temperature, see what it what it's hitting for, and eat something and see, like you said, it brings out the flavors.
No, it doesn't bring out the flavor. It doesn't bring out the flavor in food. I'm saying it brings out the flavor in the fucking drink.
In the drink itself. Okay.
Yeah. You get more like that vanilla kind of. Yeah, I don't know. It's just seems like a silly choice, but fuck you. I'm dying, so who cares?
All right.
Your dessert, and this is gonna be interesting for you because you don't do that.
I don't. If I did, one thing that I would that I can tolerate that's not too sweet, and they told me I had to choose a dessert. Some cheesecake. Really? Person. Yeah.
Okay.
Decent. I don't want necessarily I like,
any flavored or just straight like New York style.
Like the regular with the, you throw some strawberries on it, like some strawberry mixing or something like that. Not like a straight up strawberry, but like some type of strawberry concoction or dressing on top of it. Yeah, cheesecake is pretty decent. Like I'm not, I like the Reese cups and the Oreo cookies, but no, we're talking about my last meal. Yeah. A nice, good, probably a piece of cheesecake from like the Cheesecake Factory. Like, they got that pretty much that fancy, quality cheesecake.
Yeah. I'm not a cheesecake. I don't really like it. We got that.
Not a cheesecake guy? Okay.
No. We had Tiff loves it. We got her like a brownie cheesecake for her birthday. So
see, I'm not into all those extra when I go to Cheesecake Factory, I know, my ex used to get all these different like carrot cake cheesecake and chocolate on top of chocolate or mixed with chocolate. It's just like
super underrated. Carrot cake is like, it's good.
You said you approve.
Yeah, because it's weird.
Give the stamp.
It shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't be a good thing. But I'm like, the older I get, I'm like, okay.
But yeah, they've had carrot cake cheesecake, and I've tasted it. Like all those other flavors, like Oreo cheesecake and caramel and Snicker cheesecake, and all that. It gets too sweet. Like anything that's just too sweet, it just like jerks me. It's just like too much, So, but cheesecake, just the regular with a little bit of strawberry, it's enough salty and sweetness together that I won't spaz out from the sweetness.
Okay. This is a pretty easy pick for me. It's gonna be a banana cream pie. Legitimately
fucking it up. I seen you fucking it up over the holidays. You was pulling that thing out and just crushing.
It is my favorite. I don't know why. It's just such a perfect mesh of just I don't know. Like it just because the banana isn't super prevalent in the taste, but then you have like the little undertone of the whipped cream, and then you got the little graham cracker crust. Get the fuck out of here. Come on.
He said the undertone. You sound like he sound like somebody off a chop. He was just like, yes, and the texture was He said it's real crispy.
Yep.
So Here I am, my last meal. I got a steak,
Yep.
a lobster or some shrimp, some greens, a glass of beer, and a piece of cheesecake.
Which
I'm ready to
I
die.
feel like
Hello?
I feel like that can absolutely go. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like that's something can absolutely just kind of mesh together.
Call
mean,
me
mine-
Biggie Smalls. I am ready to die after that because
Yeah.
I got the meal ready to roll.
And I got meatloaf, stuffing. The fuck did I pick? The the room temperature cream soda and a banana cream, which is still crazy because that meshes too.
That meshes too. I mean, the stuffing and the meatloaf is going right together.
I may have to fucking
No, you
spread
got
this.
me. I'm like, God damn! You got me ready to go down the roof, Chris, and get me a steak and a lobster. I don't know where I'm gonna pump the greens in from, but
Yeah. Yeah,
But yeah.
and it's crazy because like this is my death meal is something that can literally be made on a Thursday afternoon.
Mine can be you can go pay for it on a Thursday afternoon, but most people ain't just got the refrigerator stacked with steak and lobster, so you may have to spend a little bit of money. But
Yeah, but you're dying, so you can't take it with you.
I can't believe they don't do that no more. That's just got me baffled. I thought I was gonna kill somebody next week and go to prison and get my meal.
Nope.
They're gonna be like, no, we don't do that no more. Dang. When did they stop that? What, in the 70s, 80s, or was that recently?
I wouldn't say it's recently. I'll fucking check it out because I heard it and I don't remember the date on it, and I'll send you like an article or whatever about it. But
yeah,
I
can't believe they don't do that no more. That's a shame. Somebody ruined it for everybody.
Yeah. Now we can't murder people and eat fucking, Thanks, you cunt.
I said it like I was gonna be out there with a sign picketing, like, bring back the meals, bring back the meals. I'm all like it was a tragic story. I'm like, man, that's a shame.
People are in the comments like, motherfucker, you could go down there tomorrow, right? And you don't even have to murder. You could actually do that 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
Nah, this is fun, man. I'm glad we got this out. It was a bit of off the cuff kind of ideas, but it definitely put a good show on the map here. And
yeah, everybody thank Rich for this one because I didn't have anything. I was so busy at work, man. I didn't even get a chance to respond back to you towards the end of the night. But great topics, man. Great ideas. Definitely things to talk about.
Yeah, I think those are the better ones where we don't think too hard about it. Just it's like, all right, this could do something. Let's roll with it.
Yep.
So I guess the breaking news for us here is from now on, Sundays at 7. So I'll make sure I plaster that on the other places. Once again, I just kind of want to thank, my guests from earlier, Cliff Yates and John Draper. Check out Spitball Media. Check out cliffyates.com. Check out his show. Is literally it's a Cliff Yates podcast. So it's pretty fucking standard there. So kind of hard to miss that. And I'll put those in the in the descriptions and all that jazz, and just kind of plaster that on other places. But yeah, check those boys out. Check us out. Like I said, we're trying to pound the pavement on getting the YouTube subs up there so we can start just streamlining this via YouTube so we can actually get some interactions. The big reason to switch to Sundays is so more people can get eyes on it, so you can actually, not be stuck here till 12 midnight on a fucking Thursday morning.
Yeah, now I think about it, ain't nobody doing it at this time.
Right.
Especially if you got a job any job that's starting before noon, you are not up right now. Or if you are, you're not watching the podcast. You're preparing to go to bed.
Yeah, you're watching Pornhub.
Yeah, trying to run that last one out real quick.
Yeah,
And
well, you got to go to sleep somehow.
make you nice and tired.
There you go.
You let that thing out like
like a volcano.
and the lava come down your belly.
All right. You always gotta fucking make it weird before we go, don't you? Just leaving people on that weird visual. Ugh. All right, we're done here. Goodbye.
Catch you later.
Yep.